Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Throwaway College Grad. My 26 female boyfriend, 25 male of a few months, puts me down because I went to college. This is probably an odd issue. We've been together for 6 months and it's been fun for the most part, but when he brings up subjects that involve higher education, he constantly puts down the idea of going to college, claiming it's a waste of money and a scam. I point out the necessity for there to be college, like doctors, etc., and he says that's different. I ask him if it was an issue with costs instead of the idea of pursuing more education, and he said that you don't learn anything real in college, you can learn more by going out and doing hard work. I pointed out that anyone can make of their college experience what they want, but he waved us off. I don't bring these subjects up. It's been a more and more frequent topic and it's gotten under my skin. He knows I'm a college graduate and that I worked really hard to get where I am today, but he will make comments like, some people don't have the same opportunities as you or the resources. I went to a community college before going to university and it saved me a lot of money. The money I did spend either came out of my own pocket or financial aid. I was working in retail part-time while going to school full-time. I have a career, my life has been fantastic, and I love my job. He has a high school diploma and he works at a job that works for mentally and physically handicapped people. He had to get certifications to work at his job and to get promotions. Right now, where he is at, he would need a degree to get another promotion, and I don't know if he's projecting his resentment about that onto me, but it's being annoying the hell out of me. I brought that up and he denies it and says that he's happy where he is at work-wise. FYI, I don't care about what he does as a job as long as he's happy. I make enough money to be comfortable on my own. He has made comments in the past that I would run off and marry a doctor over him because they make more money, and I have had to reiterate time and again that money isn't a deal breaker for me. This all has made me sit and think about the nature of our relationship. He does have insecurities, like if I don't text him back within a certain amount of time, he thinks the worst. 2 months into our relationship, he became paranoid that I had a vast sexual history because I went to college, and even thought that there was a smut tape of me out there because, according to him, all college girls do that. What? I told him that he was crazy and that even if I had a large number of sexual partners in the past, it had no impact on our current relationship. I've only been with 2 people, he's been with 8. I don't really feel happy anymore. He was a good friend, but as a boyfriend, he sucks. He's a hypocrite and paranoid. Earlier today, he made a comment about wanting to get me pregnant so that even if we broke up, a part of him would still be with me. What the F? I was like, I don't want kids, and he started insisting on changing my mind and that when I'm pregnant, I would feel differently. Luckily, this was over the phone via text, or I would have walked away from him immediately. Did I just let crazy stick in me? Thankfully, I've always insisted on protection until we both get tested for STDs. I would buy the condoms and I'm on the pill. I guess this is a combination of venting and needing advice. We have mutual friends, so it's awkward to bring all of this to them. The cons are outweighing the pros in this relationship. It's only been 6 months and this type of stuff is surfacing. What would he be like a year in? What would be the best way to cut this relationship and run without a big backlash? In my past 2 relationships, one was a mutual breakup and the other, my significant other, came out of the closet, so there wasn't really any mess. If it does get messy, what's the best way to handle that? Wow. Well, OP, first of all, the way you write about your future ex-boyfriend sounds like he's got a huge university-sized chip on his shoulder. Also, incredibly creepy and a huge runaway indicator, that comment about that you should get pregnant so even if you do break up, there's still a part of him with you? Ew. The good thing is that you've realized that he's not a good partner to you, or maybe to anyone at this point, because he really holds a lot of resentment. I would think that the best way to end any relationship is with honesty and just tell him the truth about how you feel regarding the relationship and regarding him. That you're not happy anymore, that his resentment or the way that he's acting towards your education, the constant put downs and all that stuff, just don't work for you at all and that you want out of the relationship. And that's that. Also, do this in a public place, just in case things get a little bit heated on his part and he decides to act out, let's say. You're in a public place, which means that people will be watching, so somebody could jump to help you out. And I would say that's it. And what do you guys think? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes, or how would you handle the breakup? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Nope Cakes says, at 6 months, you guys should still be in the honeymoon phase. He's showing you that he's a paranoid, possessive a-hole who doesn't respect your hard work and thinks of you as a baby factory. You aren't happy and it's because he's a crappy boyfriend. I think you already know what to do and you wanted some support on this, so I give you my full support. Break up with him. If it gets messy, block him everywhere possible, and if he shows up uninvited, call the police. And OP responds, he wanted a key to my house so he could drop by whenever. I am really glad I didn't give one to him. Population Tire says, your boyfriend's attitude about higher education reminds me of that old joke. People who describe themselves as street smart are just looking for a way to describe themselves that incorporates the word smart. He's clearly resentful of the fact that he couldn't go to college for whatever reason, but insulting you over it is just childish. Quote, the cons are outweighing the pros in this relationship. It's only been 6 months and this type of stuff is surfacing. What would he be like at a year in? End quote. Nail on the head. He's not going to flip a switch and change his thinking. And since you're already starting to think about your exit, it's probably best to do it sooner than later. Little Orange Monkeys says, so, advice on breaking up with him, since I'm really hoping that is the direction you are going. Do it in person. If you are worried about him making a scene, do it in a semi-public place where you can leave easily. Semi-public is somewhere like a park where there are other people in the area but not so close that they can hear your conversation, like a crowded restaurant. Tell him straight up that you are ending the relationship. Tell him you respect him as a person and a friend, but it's become clear to you that the two of you want different things out of a relationship. Try not to go into too much detail. He's going to want to know all the reasons you don't want to date him because he will try to say he can fix them. Just repeat that you are not interested in being in a relationship with him anymore because you want different things. Once he realizes he can't keep you, he's probably going to get angry and say a bunch of untrue hurtful things, like how he always knew you were a stuck-up, shallow bitch, blah blah blah. It's not true and it sucks that that's where his head is, but just keep in mind that he is lashing out and that his opinion is not reality. If he gets nasty, tell him you are leaving and then leave. It's going to be weird around mutual friends. Be prepared for him to possibly say crap to your friends about why he thinks you broke up with him. Don't rise to the bait. Just explain that you weren't into the relationship anymore. You wish him the best and then change the subject. Hopefully your friends can recognize the difference between classy, you, and sad and desperate, him. Good luck! Additional information from OP's comments. I think it goes without saying he may be a little emotionally imbalanced. He was not only holding my college experience over me, but also the possibility of things I did in my past which have no effect in the present. If I had one sexual partner in my past, or 100, who cares? It doesn't mean I am less of a person and my worth as a human being is in the toilet. It's so objectifying and superficial. I definitely have zero interest in having any type of physical contact with him. It started out as little comments about the expensiveness of college and has progressed to this point. I don't want any part of that. Looking back, I see now that he was trying to chip away at my self-confidence and self-worth, and it makes me pretty angry. Luckily, we don't live together, so luckily, no need for packing. Big smiley face. Alright, well, OP got the proper advice that she was looking for, so hopefully she follows it. Now, let's move on with the update to see what OP ended up doing and how this story ends. Thank you for all the supportive comments. I read through each one and it's helped me build my resolve. I'm happy to announce that I dumped my ex-boyfriend. Yesterday, I called a mutual friend that I am more close to than he is and I asked her to sit in the car when I broke up with him. She agreed and I called and asked for him to meet us at the local park. I was apprehensive, but having my friend there made me feel safer. When he walked to my car, I stepped out and broke the news to him that I wasn't interested in continuing the relationship. He didn't take it very well and began to rant and yell loudly about how he just knew I was cheating on him and seeing someone else on the side, how I never loved him and that he just knew I was a see you next Tuesday because I didn't rush into the relationship at the speed he wanted me to. Apparently, moving in together at 3 months equals showing you love someone? I thought I would get emotional or angry, but somehow I kept grounded and told him that his erratic behavior and demeaning attitude are what turned me off. The fact that he didn't respect my wishes not to have kids was the breaking point for me, and that I wasn't a broodmare destined to be pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen. He began to spout, whatever, you just used me, yada yada, and I gave him back the only property he left at my house, a DVD of Guardians of the Galaxy, and said my goodbyes and wished him luck. He then demanded that I give back any gift he had given me during the course of our relationship. I told him nope, that I was keeping my box set of Downton Abbey and that because it was a gift, it was legally mine. My friend and I left and she was surprised by his irrational paranoid behavior. Among our mutual friends, he's the happy-go-lucky type of guy that everyone likes. I wasn't going to go off about how he was a terrible person because that would take me down to his level. I bought my friend takeout as a thank you, and 2 hours after I got home, I guess it really sunk into him that we were done and I started getting calls and texts and messages on Facebook. The voicemails and texts he left were pretty nasty, and I texted back that if he contacted me again, I would consider it harassment and go to the police. I blocked him on Facebook and marked his number as spam on my phone. It was quiet until late last night when I got a text from an unknown number, either from someone else's phone or he used an app to get another number, and it was a picture of him getting head from an unknown female. I knew it was him because he has a scar on his lower abdomen that's several inches in length from a surgery years ago. I wish I could say that I publicly embarrassed him by posting the picture on Facebook or sending it to his mom, but I didn't. I don't know what the laws are for revenge smut in my state, and he's just not worth the risk. Also, I don't think the girl in the picture was aware of the fact she had her picture taken, her eyes were closed, and she doesn't deserve public humiliation over what a mentally unstable guy did. But I'm going to head to the local police department with prints up of messages and screenshots from my phone to show them. My state passed revenge smut laws recently, so I hope they can do something, and that woman needs to know she had her picture taken without consent. This morning I changed my number and gave it out to only a few select. Also, I do have a security system in my house and 2 surveillance cameras for my front and back doors. Yay for previous burglary paranoia! The front has a view of my lawn and driveway, and my back has a view of my entire backyard. If he attempts any kind of vandalism or shows up at my house, I would get it on tape. I definitely dodged a nuclear bomb, lol. An hour ago, I started getting mean-natured messages on my Facebook from a fresh account under his name, calling me various insults. I changed my privacy settings, just more kindling to the fire that will be placed under his ass. And after that, it's been quiet. I called in sick today to give myself a me day. I'm going to spoil myself with Amazon purchases and eat some Thai food. Thank you all again for leaving awesome comments, it helped a lot. Alright, well, OP did it. She broke up with him and moved on. Good for you, OP. Also, you were right regarding that girl. If she didn't know the picture was taken, then something needs to be done. That's not cool. So anyways, thank you so much for sharing, OP, and all the best in the future. Take care. And now, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user District Equivalent 79. You want to talk to my manager? Okay. This happened about 13 years ago. I was a field service engineer for a national retail chain. Basically, I was the IT guy who drove around in a company vehicle, servicing the computer networks in the stores. The way the company was organized, there were corporate employees and then there were retail employees. Being a corporate employee, I received corporate stock as a small part of my salary, and my starting pay was 3 times the rate of any store manager. Because I was always putting out fires, I often found myself in the awkward position of dealing with store managers who honestly thought that they were the store owners and that I was just the hired help. This was truly ironic, as I actually did own a very small piece of the corporation, whereas the average store manager did not. One day, I got orders to replace a server in a store not too far from my house. I worked out of my house, but kept parts in the truck, and also the back room of another store nearby. So I show up at the store where the server needed to be replaced. It was my second stop of 3 scheduled that day. I walk into the store wearing my very obvious corporate uniform and name tag with a logo. The store owner, retail manager, instantly demands to know what the F I am doing in her store. I get this all the time, nothing new. I calmly explained that my boss wants me to upgrade one of the store's servers, hardware replacement. And I even show her where it is that I will be working. I explained that it will take about an hour and that the point of sales registers might go offline for about 5 minutes. She isn't happy, but she reluctantly allows me into the room where the server is, and I start working. When I'm just about done, the point of sales registers go down as I am switching them to the new server, which is not fully hooked up yet. It was at this point that I realized I have forgotten to bring in a couple of cables that I need to finishing hooking up the new server into the store network. So I run out to the truck to get the required cables. I'm gone for about 2 minutes. When I get back, the store manager is sitting at the table in front of the server, and she's got food spread out all over the table. The server is under the table. I tell the store manager I need to finish hooking up the server, gesturing under the table. The store manager tells me I'll have to come back in an hour after her lunch break. I'm shocked into total silence. Then a cashier bursts into the room, panicked that the registers aren't working and the checkout lines are getting backed up. I explained to the manager that I have to fix the server now or the registers will not work. The manager tells me I should have thought of that before I started working in her lunch break area. I calmly tell the store manager that she'll have to take a break later or find somewhere else to eat her lunch. She tells me I'm rude and incompetent and demands to speak to my manager immediately. Okie dokie. I call up my manager using my corporate issue iPhone, quickly explain the situation, and then walk into the server room and hand the iPhone to the store manager. While she's on the phone with my manager, I head out to the front of the store to explain and apologize that the registers are going to be down for a few more minutes. I can't hear exactly what the store manager is telling my manager, but I can tell that it's a heated conversation and I clearly hear the word fired mentioned a few times. It's clear that the store owner, retail manager, wants me to be fired for daring to try to interrupt her lunch break. Unfortunately for her, my direct supervisor was about 5 or 6 levels above the retail district manager. So the store manager was complaining loudly about interrupting my work to the manager of her manager's manager. A few minutes later, the store manager walks out of the room, awkwardly balancing bits and pieces of her lunch spread. I immediately go back to work, getting the new server up and running and rebooting the point of sales registers so that they will sync on the new server and cashiers can get back to work. Everyone is happy now, except for the store owner because her lunch break was ruined. The main part of my task is done now, but it takes me about another 15 minutes to clean up my mess and reorganize my truck to get ready for my next stop, which will be about a 1-hour drive from my current location. As I am doing this, I see the retail district manager, I've met her before, going into the store. She walks back out of the store with the former store manager, who is carrying a box of her personal items. Well, OP, she wanted to talk to your boss and give him an earful about you. Petty people with a false perception of power. I guess she doesn't own the store anymore. Thank you for sharing, OP. Take care. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.